Hi guys, I am Sarah Louise. I am the founder of SLA Medical, and I am now the co-founder of Grit and Glam, and that is moving into the consultancy space. SLA Medical although it's actually an international brand now, which I've worked extremely hard to get, the primary HQ clinic is in Manchester. And over and above that, why we chose memberships. Now, as Joe said, you're probably like me, you're a clinic owner. It's all good and well to say, go and buy this, but how does it translate into your clinical practice? If everybody out there today is saying to you, use my product, do this, it only comes down to a few things. How does that fit in with you as a practitioner? Do you believe it fits? Does it have your ethical morale with it? And on top of that, what ROI are you going to get back from that? And so these are the things as a practitioner, but also as a business owner, a CEO, an investor, a colleague, you have to think about now. If you are just going to remain a clinician, an owner-operator, you are really going to miss out on the biggest exponential growth for your brand, but also for your clinic and your staff. One of the biggest things and the biggest struggles as an owner of a business is retention. Now, who struggles with this? Because 6, 7, 8 years ago, I had no idea what a retention rate was. When I was working with Allergan, they gave me a business consultant and they said, Sarah, what is your retention rate on a percentage? And I went, what does that even mean? How often do your patients come back? How frequently? And how many of them currently on your database are returning in 6 months? I don't know. So if you don't know these metrics already, I encourage you to understand your business. You should have a CRM system in place. And if you don't, I really encourage you to get an electronic CRM that can produce you reports to tell you what these types of figures are. Because without knowing that, you can't invest into new modalities, new innovations, and actually appreciate what you're bringing into your company. What we found the biggest thing with bringing members in, I don't like to say memberships. I am someone that's really ethical. I like to talk to my patients about educating. I don't like to sell. I find if I educate well enough, my patient will purchase because I'm selling a protocol. He stole my word. So I don't like the word packages. I don't want any of my staff to say packages. You do not come into my clinic and you get a Kylie K package. That does not exist. You're not going to get a package for your acne. We're going to get protocols. And a protocol is a medical procedure or protocol that you can put together to make sure that you're getting them a solution to their problem. And that's what we're trying to do. And if we're speaking that kind of dialect, you can realistically start to show the value of a membership. And why is a membership important if we're selling protocols? Because a protocol is not one treatment. You will not have a patient come once, even for Botox. I hope you don't. But you want that patient on a protocol to correct a line, a wrinkle, skin quality, volume loss, and that becomes a holistic approach. And this is where a membership for us was extremely successful to really give that long-term treatment plan and show the patient the value of coming back to us, building the trust, and being able to get a solution to their problem. The repeat revenue stream is really important. If you're running a business and you are not making money, you will not survive. That is a reality. And today it is freaking hard. It's not like it was when I started 8 years ago. 8 years ago, I could throw myself on Instagram. I could get patients from around. I just spent not one penny on marketing for 5 years. For 5 years. I could never do that now. If I don't spend money on SEO, on marketing, optimizing all my operational functions, using my staff, having social media, that doesn't happen. But now you have to be really competitive. And this is where creating that repeat revenue, like Joe said, having predictable income is not just to sell your business. You may not be at that exit stage, but it's so nice to know what kind of money is coming in. You no longer have a salary. You don't get to work in the NHS anymore and you know you're going to get £2,500 per month. That doesn't happen anymore. So this is really nice safety net for yourself to make sure that you are not only comfortable, you're less stressed, you're not being reactive. You get halfway through the month and you're like, oh my God, I've got no patients next week. My utilization is at 40%. What is going on? This creates you a level of confidence, a level of trust, a level of less stress, and just to be able to have those patients coming back and make it more convenient for them as well. You provide loyalty. For me, you have to give back. If you do not show your patient that they are valued, they come back to you, that they trust you, they're a part of a community. You know, I say to my patients, they're like family. I don't want all of you to think your patients are like family because there's boundaries. But if they don't feel like you're doing them more than just a treatment, they will go next door. That is the reality now. So it is a complete service you need to be providing. The loyalty for me was really big because once I worked it out, financially, my patients are spending this anyway. And that's my exact example you just seen. And you're probably thinking, £150 a month and they get all that? I can't afford that. But you can, because if you break that down for the patients, so we then incentivize them to have a discount off their yearly SLA refresh, which is a volume replacement session, which might go 5, 7, 10 mil. On top of that, they're getting 2 to 3 Botox sessions a year. They're getting 2 to 3 Moxie BBL sessions. And I'd really love them to have the skin treatments because that's going to facilitate and make their treatment look better by the time I come to treat them on an SLA refresh. And my patient is consistently happy because I'm providing a result. So this for me was really big to be able to give back to them and say, okay, you're spending X amount, but if you spend £200, because you're going to break it down. People don't want to spend more money. They don't have more money to spend now. Break it down into simple terms. My staff was saying, I've got my head nurse here, and there's a lot of ways I've had to show them. They were saying, I can't, they're not going to commit to 12 months. They're not going to come here for 12 months. But I'm like, girls, have a look at your database. Who here of your patients that has been here for over 12 months is here for 12 months? Well, over 90%. So they are willing to commit. We have to change our dialect. We have to show them the value. If we don't believe in the value, how are they going to believe in the value? And this is where this is really important to show, giving back to them. You're rewarding them. You're saying, thank you for believing in me. Thank you for coming back to me. Thank you for giving your money that you spend back to me to give you a result. So this is really important. If you're not providing loyalty, you definitely have to. And a POD. If you aren't standing out in terms of being a little bit unique, and what does that mean? You realistically now have to treat your patients, not only on treatment plans, your assessment and consultation has to be flawless. That is number one. You need to make sure that you are covering all bases on your assessment and consultation. You understand your patient back to front. My girls know that they must go through methodical processes of understanding that patient for 60 minutes before they treat that patient. Why? Because it builds the trust, it builds the boundaries, it builds the treatment plan. You're not going to go say, oh, they're going to come in and have Botox. If you want that, you go down the road. You go to, if you want to go to the non-medic. Oh, well, I've seen it down there for, you're so expensive, we had the other day. Don't come to us. If you don't want to invest, I don't want to invest our time in you. I know that seems harsh and I wouldn't say that directly, but there is a way to communicate to these people to show that you are different. You have to be unique and you have to be honest. If I continue to treat you with one area of Botox and actually it's in your forehead, which you don't even need because you're over 45 and you've actually got brow ptosis, come on, you need to educate them, show them that you care, give them that point of difference. And this is a really good way for you to start implementing that because you're going to see them every single month. Why our patients chose them. Financial incentives, as I said, and they're giving back. They feel like they're getting something out of it. Everyone needs that nowadays. There's always a little extra something. And on top of that, there's a Louis Vuitton bag out there, by the way, so you can incentivize them by winning this. Providing value. I always talk about, I have taglines in our clinic. Price is irrelevant if you provide value. And what do I mean by that? You don't question how much you're going to pay when you sit down to get your hair done. You actually don't know the bill. This is one of the scariest things as a female. You go to the hairdressers and all of a sudden you're paying £300, but last time it was like £190. But you know what? You're so damn happy. And you get up and at £300, it kills you about 5 minutes after you walk out the door and you realize what you've just done. But emotionally, you're so happy that you don't make that connection because you've had the value, you've had the experience and you're happy. So that £300 becomes really priceless to you. And females are really good at having emotional connection. And a solution to a concern. Do not sell the one treatment, do not sell the packages. Sell something that gives them a solution, okay? If you are just giving a line or a wrinkle improvement, they will go elsewhere, like I've said. So you have to give that. Millennials, the 29-year-olds to the 44-year-olds, if you're in that catchment, guys, they are the ones that want the community feeling and the support. They want to feel like they're a part of something. And I know, even having a membership now, even myself, I want to go to Starbucks. I look for my free drink. Oh, I look for my free drink because I spend enough there. I want that free drink. And I actually save it because I think, oh, if I don't bring my wallet out, if I don't have money, I can get my free drink when I'm going for a run. These people want to feel a part of a community. And I think it's us, and sometimes I have to retrain my staff and keep instilling it. We are the biggest barrier. Because if we don't believe in something, we think the patient doesn't believe in it. So we immediately have this psychological barrier. And I talk about this in consulting a lot to break that barrier. So dialect is super important. If you're going to implement a membership or even just in your clinic, think about the words you choose. Think about how you train your staff to speak. Think about communication. I like to say they're a member. They're a part of something. A membership to me seems like I'm paying something. I don't want that. I want the psychology of them to feel like they're a part of something with us. Educate. So if you educate, you provide the value, how can you not want something that they realistically have sought action for? At the end of the day, they're coming to you, they're asking for something. I mean, we've just now entered the world of leads. Guys, I don't know if you do SEO, but oh my God. We've now got these leads, and I don't know, cold leads, warm leads. I'm not an expert in that part. And they're dropping in. And they're not our usual clientele. They are different, they're hard work. These are people that may have seen the word line, and now we've got to talk about a treatment plan for a year. And they're like, I've never even thought about Botox. But we educate them, even if they don't buy anything. Do you know what? We're clinicians. At the end of the day, you do not give a medication, you do not tell them the side effects and the risks. You don't think about the holistic care. You are not doing the right thing by yourself. And on top of that, you're not acting up to your medical qualification. Cultural vision and message for your clinic. And as I said, I talked to this about the girls. Everything we speak about, we have to believe about. If you don't believe it, don't speak, don't be there. Don't do it. Because if you try and tell your staff to believe in something, it's like having a vegetarian working in a butcher store. It's not going to work. You know, you don't have to go and get the treatments to believe in them, but you have to believe in the fact of what you're telling your patients. If you can back yourself, I say this, and I can now thoroughly say after 14 years in the industry, I can back myself because I have the knowledge. I can always have more. I have the skill. I have the understanding. I have no ego. That's a very important thing. I have no ego. I'm always willing to learn more. And I have good tools. I have the most resources I could ever ask for now. But the tools I choose are very important. And this gives me the way to actually have that cultural input to the girls. Treatments versus protocols we spoke about, and treatment plans. So really educate your patients about coming back on a regular basis and instilling that. And solutions to concerns. Okay, you want me to speed it up, Joe? He's like, come on. But this is important, guys, because how's this going to be relevant to you? How's it going to go into your clinic, and how's it going to work? In-clinic banners, and I hate this photo. He stitched me up here, made our clinic look really dull and dark. He bought the banner in. This is just to show them. In actual fact, not one of them, of ours, has questioned the £25 off. Not one. They never have said, I want £25 off. So in actual fact, we can probably improve a lot of these things as we're going through with Dermis, because they are buying it because we are actually educating them and telling them about it. My Jade. She's also angry that you stitched her up by putting that on there. Like, social media, we launch everything. Everything that you do has to have a launch, by the way. If you're doing a new machine, if you're doing a new service, you can't rely on your current patient database. This is the number one rule. You can't, I used to think, you know what? Oh yeah, brand new hydrofacial, then it goes, everyone's just going to convert. Absolutely not. You must have a marketing strategy in place and a launch strategy of what that means. And if you don't do it correctly, what I want to really stress is that you can miss the boat. If you launch something and put it out there too quick because you're giddy and you want everyone to get on board and you haven't got the infrastructure in place, you're setting yourself up for failure. Be patient, have the right plan, have the right strategy, and roll it out correctly across all platforms, in clinic, online, ads, and onto your website as well, and creating call to actions. Speak memberships online. Speak about it. Do you know who the best people for this are? The Americans. They love a membership. And if you go and follow some pages, you'll see they live and breathe memberships. The good thing at the moment is you get £100 Amazon gift cards to give to your patients to sign up. You can also get the opportunity to take a Louis Vuitton bag and put that in your clinic, and you can say go in the draw to win that. That's also quite cool. But we got broken into recently, so I'm like, I think I'd have to take that home every night. And this is you. So just a little recap, guys. If you want to, if you come via my social media at the moment, because I haven't quite launched our consulting service completely. I actually live in Dubai, and we do the remote version as I also do into the UK. If you're struggling with growing your business, you might be at the very beginning. You might be learning what growth strategies you need to implement. On top of that, how you want to scale. So you might be running your clinic, you have 3 staff, you've got 3 rooms, you're running at 60% occupancy, your retention's about 60%, but actually you can optimize that. Or on top of that, you really want to go to multi-sites, or you want to exit your company. This is something that now I've gone into and I'm extremely passionate about. I don't love injecting as much anymore. And after 14 years, I feel this is the next progression. And if any of you need any help or any assistance to go down that path, be sure to follow me as Nurse Sarah Louise on Instagram, and I can create an onboarding call for you all and actually give you some form of help, and I can even help you introduce dermis as well.